Wow. What a jovial, upbeat
Very
tune.
nice.
Isn't it nice? Thank you, Bog Boy, for that fingle. And welcome to episode 89, would you believe, of the Hat Chat podcast.
I choose not to, and that is my right.
89, wow. Yeah, that song reminded me of Drolo. He's got a couple of, like a lullaby song, I think it's called. It's very similar. I like it, Bog Boy.
Maybe
nice
it's
one. I think
inspired.
Bog Boy is also
I think you said that last time they made us a track, right?
Yeah, I
and
think
you were
they
like,
must
"Oh,
be
this is very inspired
by them." Maybe, I don't know, but yeah,
I
they
thought it
also
was-
commented on our pancake video, the top comment. So thank you very much, Bog Boy, for.
Cheers, Boggers.
Sorry, I think there's a. I'm not sure. I'm going to say a Buddhist or something like. Google Drollo with two L's and look
Drollo,
at
okay.
Drollo and look at the images. They're incredible. They're all these
Oh,
paintings.
they're like kind of
these...
trippy. They almost look like Oh yeah, there's some very interesting art pieces. Drollo.
How cool is that?
See, I'm on Urban
Drollo
Dictionary, and it
is,
says
with
to
the
Drollo is to
Yeah.
defecating while simultaneously masturbating, so I think I'm on the wrong bit.
Wow. Very different vibe from the images in the Urban Dictionary explanation.
Depends if you're a visual guy or a words guy, right? Like, you know, like, no, I learned what that is. Did you see it? It's amazing, isn't it? It's like, I wouldn't call it amazing, mate, no.
It's funny you mentioned that. Sorry, Josh, do your intro first. Who's that? Is that Trott over there?
It is. I'm Chris Trott.
Hi, Chris Trott. I'm Ross Hornby.
That's nice.
And my name's Alex Smith, and I'll be here to deliver the first icebreaker. No, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, the Urban Dictionary explanation of schlog is the act of defecating into a sock, dipping it into water, and using it to beat someone, preferably in the face.
Like flogging them. And
So that's interesting. And there's a couple of different explanations here. Walking through sewage, possibly derived from slogging through shit or shit slog.
Schlong.
That's good. I like that. I had to slog my way through the sewage system.
Yeah, but we've been doing schlogs, which in our version is shit vlogs recently. So that came up for
because
me
of the more gonzo nature of them.
Just because, it's just no order to it at all, and
we're only using a
$7
$5,000 camera setup to shoot them, guys. It's just a shit one. There's something you could do on your phone.
Just throw away.
To be fair, and we do. There's phone footage in there.
There is some. It's good. That's nice.
The thing is, the shit aspect of it is to set expectations that you're not going to be expecting.
It really is.
Road trip edited style series out of us. It's out of Ross in particular. He's the one that edits the schlogs. But yeah, they're more put together clips.
Haphazardly, just very quickly done.
There's still some effort though. You got little beats and
music.
But
that's just the same tune, just slowed down, or just again, like I said before, I like to put a break beat almost to everything just to see what it sounds like, and then again slowed it down. There's another version again in the next slog, so
just run it through the next instrument on the list.
Pretty much,
like you know, like right, what's this sound like as organ?
That's nice, a sitar, brilliant.
Right. Moving on then from our schlogs, which you should check out, by the way, on our Hat Films YouTube channel, which has constant content there now, which is really nice to see. Us in the warehouse messing about. We'll move on now to our Patreon supporters who have kindly picked a hypothetical question of the week. Someone commented saying, really good questions this week. As if the other ones were bad. So I'm taking offense to that. That's fine. Thank you
There's hope
for the comment. So, number one, Alex Smith, would you mind?
It says here that the first hypothetical kindly chosen for us by our inspiring Patreons. If you could improve any aspect of yourself, i.e. your intelligence, your fitness, etc., but you had to decrease another aspect of yourself, what aspects would you increase and which would you decrease? So it's a standard array point attribution system in D&D.
You got a triangle.
Right, okay.
Strength, fitness, intelligence, dexterity.
Anyone want to go first?
Yeah, I'd reduce my intelligence to get fit.
Oh, okay.
Don't go any lower.
You go lower with the intelligence. That's
less to worry about.
Less to think about. You mean just everything's
I want to be
simple.
like Mochi level of intelligence, where like I'm just happy to have received this piece of paper that I found on the floor. Now I can tear up. I can't wait.
Dog level intelligence.
I just want to be happy by nothing, and not worry about nothing as well.
Ignorance is
I mean,
bliss,
yeah, it's a
after all.
fair. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, who wouldn't want to remove their stresses and anxieties? I guess. I don't know. Maybe I don't know whether you're feeling. I think there's two approaches to that idea of reducing your stresses and anxiety. Not to get really into it, but like, I don't know whether making yourself more stupid would make you more happy. If you know what I mean. Like, I don't know whether I know what you mean. Like, as in, it would reduce the stresses and anxieties, but then does it also reduce your capacity to, you know, enjoy the good things you do have? Perhaps if you were dog level intelligence.
I mean, Mochi really gets happy when she eats her own shit, so I'm pretty sure there is a correlation there with the naivety of life and being happy with your lot. Ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, there is. Yeah, that's what you're looking for, really, isn't it? Like you just want to be happy.
Yeah.
If you're happy with
how fit are we talking? We're talking like
buff like
really buff,
insanely fit.
Also, you're not really sure what's going on in the world. And
I'm gonna last till 150, but I'm not gonna tell you like who the current prime minister is, or like the current price of milk, or anything like that, or like what even money is as a concept.
God, so you're like a cave dump. You're
like a meathead, kind of just like
you are Stig of the dump, Chris. You are literally Stig of the dump.
Can you read hermit?
Right?
Yeah.
You can read and write. Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Just
maybe
about
the weights, the measurements of the weights.
Morse code. Like lines and dots.
Oh my goodness.
It's really tricky, isn't it?
Not a bad thing to learn.
Oh, Morse code. No, I don't know that. Nobody knows that.
Not useful in the day-to-day environment, sure, but
amazing in the situations when you need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess would you really though?
Would you really? It's kind of a jokey answer.
Yeah.
As is most of my answers on
indeed
on this subject. But I don't know. Would I increase my intelligence though?
Yeah, that's another good question.
What are the options? I guess, So what you got? Intelligence, you put intelligence, fitness, etc.
You can improve an aspect of yourself. So
it can be anything.
That as
those are just some examples.
Yeah. And you can decrease another aspect of yourself, but I guess they all have to be related to you. You can't say like I'd be richer but stupider, because like, you know, one of those is money and exterior to how the world, you know, like
I think you can't just be richer.
Maybe a serious answer, not to steal the limelight for all these questions, but motivation and drive, like a continual flow of it, rather than like those 3 a.m. moments of euphoric creativity, but like a constant ability to just do something, even if you don't want to. I guess that drive, like I'd increase my drive.
Well, okay. Is that like
because that would increase your happiness?
Energy,
that's
willpower.
Why. Like I think that's a good answer, because I think that it makes you feel happy and satisfied and
I would decrease my intelligence.
Purpose. So you just really, I mean, that's fine. You only have to do like one thing
driven
all
and
the
dumb.
time. Yeah, you could just have like one thing that you do, but you're really driven to do it. Like, say you're like love whittling, you know, and so you're just whittling, I don't know, wooden spoons.
Just like 50 a day.
Yeah. So you're whittling all this cutlery, and that's all you know how to do. You can't read or write, but you just get to wake up. You're really excited. You eat your breakfast with your wooden cutlery, your wooden cutlery, and then you're like, I can't wait to start my day making more of this super useful wooden cutlery.
And I'm enthusiastic for it, regardless of what it is. Yeah,
and that would make you happy, and that would make you feel a purpose, and that would probably eliminate most of your anxieties and stresses. So really, that's why. Yeah,
I should take a whittling.
Whittling.
Yeah.
I think that's what I got from there.
Things.
Thank you.
Get a lathe.
What about you guys?
Sculptures. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the full list of things that I can think off the top of my head. Someone mentioned charisma there, and I think that's probably quite a good, valuable thing to have in general.
Yeah.
And I think that can take people much further than if they had a lot of intelligence necessarily. Like in certain job roles, in certain kind of like social situations, I think charisma can really take you far. You don't necessarily need much more. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of charismatic people I've met who aren't necessarily the smartest, but like they're likable and like engaging, and I think that's quite an important thing to have. So I wouldn't mind being more charismatic, I guess.
That would be nice, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what would I remove?
Your big
I could
donkey
take a
dick.
few inches off, so maybe dick size. I could just we could take a few inches off.
Take that like a few feet down.
I don't know. Maybe height. I could lower the height a little bit, have a bit more charisma. I don't know how much are we taking off though, because I'm 6'3", so 5'10" is probably like a good average.
5'9's a really good height.
5'9", yeah, sure, 5'9". I'd be happy with that. I'd happy to take some height
Good.
away.
I'm glad you're happy with that height.
Some charisma.
I think that would be fine as well, because I think that even
you could fit
like
most
think
clothes.
of it this way, right? So you're now 5'10" rather than 6'2" or whatever you are. For our European friends, that's like 188 down to like 176 or something like that. I think you'd be fine if you became more charismatic, because being tall, like I'm quite tall, and I never really appreciate its presence or like how it makes me appear. Like, like as in, I'll see myself in photos, I'll see myself in social situations, and I'll just be like I don't know, I don't feel empowered by it. I like being able to see over crowds, but then you talk to people who are like, oh yeah, I really like a tall person, or they're really tall. Yeah. And so the knowledge of it and how to use that perspective is just as important as having that attribute. If you don't understand the perspective of what that attribute does to people, then it's basically useless. But, it isn't useless. Things may happen around you or in your life that are beneficial or negative to you that you don't have any control of. So, in a way, but yeah, like I think going down to that height and being charismatic, understanding how people perceive you is big part of that. Would be a very good idea. Two good answers.
Nice. I could go I mean, if you look like Brad Pitt, you'd get everything you wanted as well. That's another thing, which I think is quite effective. I don't know if that also, I think charisma kind of like does cancel that out as well.
It's a bit of a
I don't
blurred
think
line.
It matters really how you look. If you've got like the talk and you can kind of be confident and stuff, I think that's really important.
Does being better looking naturally make you more charismatic?
Potentially.
Because you have less to come up against in terms of how people perceive you.
Yeah.
Maybe people treat you slightly better. Yeah. I know it sucks to say that, but
we've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
About like how more attractive people do get pretty pushed further in job roles or in social situations is definitely an advantage. And
seems like an advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
And that
it's statistically measurable that better looking people are more likely to get promotions. Like that actually happens.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
I feel like you can get away with being less attractive if you've got a bit more confidence and a bit more
or
charisma,
intelligence, or a great idea.
Does help, yeah. But if you're too intelligent, you go the other way, where it's like now annoying,
bit outcast,
So you kind of need a balance there.
Where you can't relate to anybody because you're so smart.
Yeah.
Or rather, like you're almost a pariah. I think in some ways, like people, don't understand. Yeah, like you say, a breakdown in understanding. But that's essentially intelligence isn't necessarily linked to that ability to communicate, is it?
Being, super smart is still, it has its advantages. I mean, if you could literally, cure diseases and solve world issues with your intelligence, that's obviously a huge asset in itself. But you've probably sacrificed a lot more of the other other things to get there.
Yeah, ultimately, like the easiest and one of the most human routes to happiness is purpose. And so if you have a great purpose like that, yes, you can overcome a lot of adversity because of how much that purpose makes you feel alive, and I think that's a big link to happiness, really. I think I was going to be a real cheesy one and be like, I wouldn't change anything. Not because I think I'm great, but because I don't think I understand what necessarily I would need or lose. I don't have a very good picture of myself a lot of the time. I think I have like the way I think and my principles, but like I have no real understanding. I'm very bad at understanding how like my mindset affects other people beyond how I see it. If you know what I mean? Like as in, I'm like, this is how all this works, or this thing is the way to do it, or whatever. And I'm just like, why doesn't that make sense to other people? Like my empathy, I think, is really what I'd love to improve, where would I lose things? I mean, if we're doing height, sure, I could lose an inch or two without missing it. Like, but that's a bit of a cheat, right?
Yeah, it's a cheat code.
So I guess
3 inches, still 6 feet. Fuck off.
I guess I could be more ginger.
More ginger. Well, he's giving him more ginger. Okay.
No, I don't think
I mean, that's a good point. I could just go back to brown again.
Back to brown.
Well, I'm not too fast. I mean, I'm used to it now. People still think I diet.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
like
it's quite
we have split audiences. So we got our Twitch audience, and whatever people on Twitter and stuff. But whenever we release videos on the main channel, there's always some people who are just like, "Oh, I haven't watched you guys in ages. Holy shit, Ross has aged." And it's like, well, I have aged, but
you have aged, but not like it's not like your fucking face. It's just people think like, "Oh, grey hair." This I don't understand. I mean, I don't know if you need to hear it, but I don't think that's the common thinking about grey hair now. If you've got a full head of hair, that's the thing.
Well, that's why they think I diet.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Why
it's like a style choice.
Hair like that? It's like,
yeah. I think if people could replicate that like gradient you've got with dyeing, they'd be very fucking happy. Because it's really difficult.
It costs hundreds, I know.
Yeah. It's much darker. Like the front line is basically just all wispy greys, and then the back is all dark still. But
I had to sit for 6 hours to get something even remotely close to that, Ross. So the fact you can just wake up and have that, you're lucky fuck, really.
Yeah.
And you save yourself money by going
It's going to
grey.
get whiter, though. It's going to get whiter. My brother's like almost got completely white hair now.
Really?
It's impressive. Yeah, like, and he's only 3 years older. So
nice. Well, you're doing well then, really.
It's
how long did it go?
Then it's a nice base, so then you can go funky.
Oh,
you can do whatever you want.
You could get the most vivid, like ninja fucking hairstyles going. Because everyone wants to look like that douchebag. Up, down, left, right.
Ninja, please. No way.
Back to Brown sounds like Amy Winehouse's lesser-known album.
Yeah.
Back to
the bootlegged version. Yeah.
Sponsored by Lamat or whatever they're called. No, I don't know what I would lose. I appreciate a lot of my attributes in the physical field. I don't feel I think I'm in a really annoying spot where I'm just about self-aware and smart enough to see all of the things that are wrong in the world, but not really smart enough to like process them and like and come up with like something that makes sense to me.
Solutions,
like I need survival strategies, for like managing that. And I feel like I'm capable of taking in a lot of information, but not necessarily capable of processing it in a healthy way. Which really annoys me. I think I needed to, a little bit more education and the ability to fucking concentrate on education. Like, I fucking hate academia, which is a problem, but I do love learning. And so, like, it was like, but I've caught myself in a bit of a mental health hole, although I know many of us feel like that. But it does, like, I'm not saying that I'm in a hole right now, but I mean, it's something that challenges my mental health a lot, is like, all those fucking things. But I think everybody feels like that right now.
And you have to get a point across, like, succinctly. I find that sometimes quite tricky.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the intelligence probably comes in.
To be able to eloquently put forward your point. I'm terrible at that. Like, I
feel like I can understand it.
Yeah, I've got the concept in my head, but forming that into cohesive words is difficult for me. But I'm smart as fuck. It just doesn't come out right.
There we go. Well, I'll second. Wait, hold on. I think we have an ad break coming up, right?
We do.
It's a great place to stop.
Yeah. All right.
He's smart as fuck, ladies and gentlemen.
That just doesn't come out right. No, that doesn't sound right.
I don't eat my own shit. Right. We'll be back in a moment. Of course, if you're a Patreon supporter, you can get the ad-free version on patreon.com/hatfilms. But for everyone else, endure this ad. See you in a bit. And that's it. Again, amazing. You could be lucky. You may not have been served anything because of the region you're in or the country or whatever, but consider yourself lucky. May not be so lucky next time. Could be Viagra adverts.
Wow.
We don't know what you're going to get. It really does depend. So sign up to Patreon. Is that enough of a warning and threat to everyone to sign up to Patreon?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's
Maybe.
a good
People
tactic.
worry. I'd love Viagra ads sound funny. If anything, like I'd take a funny, bizarre product ad over like another fucking Audible ad or something like that. You know.
But what if it's promoted in a way of like making you worry instead of it being funny? Of like,
Jesus, is this like high pressure medical techniques used in
what's
American
your
pharmaceuticals?
pee flow like? Is
Hey,
it
bro,
being
do you not
dribbly?
pee 3 pints a second? You're a 3-pint man. 3 pints a second.
Well, I mean, the patrons, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much once again if you are supporting us via Patreon. We don't have like a massive audience on Hat Chat in comparison to other stuff. So if you do enjoy it, that's genuinely helpful and it keeps this thing going. So that's very nice. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you for your niche but loyal support. Much appreciated. Do we want to move on to another Patreon or do we want to do funny news?
Have a little quick dabble.
Let's. The news is not as funny as you'd hope.
Struggle to find funny news right now.
But the second one's really good, I think. The second one's what's the worst job you would never want to do? However, would you take this job if you get paid $100,000 a week? I think there are very few jobs I wouldn't do for $100,000 a week.
Of course.
Are we assuming this job has like regular like workers' rights and stuff? You know, like it's 40 hours a week or whatever. You have statutory sick pay and there's like holiday. We have to presume that, right? Otherwise, you're just a slave for $100,000 a week.
I imagine something that would test. Yeah, I feel like something that would test your physical health, maybe.
Like
or
a
like,
risk,
maybe
high
like
risk.
Just testing out like jumbo dragon dildos or something. Like, oh god, this is actually going to really test my ass. I could have genuine problems for the rest of my life after doing this job, so that's why it's paying so much. I don't know, but I mean,
it's
I
a
guess
funny job to pick.
It's a funny job to pick,
I like that you went for that one because I thought of a few and I was just like, wait, no, all of those are super dark.
Like medical testing in general is probably pretty out there in terms of like something that could fuck you up. Like you know, you never know. Like if you try some scalp cream or something and your hair just goes and like is it worth that much? You don't know.
For $100,000 a week, I would shave my head bald every day for $100,000 a week.
Shaving it bald will never get your hair back. Do you know what I mean? Or like, I'm just saying medical testing in general is a really risky thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Voluntary human trial person. Is that what you... I don't think people get paid that much doing that.
Well, no, I don't think they would. No.
And it's only 5.2 million a year, which is a huge amount of money, but it's not like...
Life-changing amount of money.
It's a life-changing amount of money, but it's not like in the grand scheme of like how rich some people are. You know, where we're always like, fuck me, the things people do for like such little money sometimes. Yeah. And but and then you're like, God, and some people just get that, like when you see people really struggling to get basic stuff or experience certain things or do different things, then other people, that's just the norm for them. And you're like, the comparison of how much a person has to go through versus how much somebody else does. And it's just like, mad, So yeah, medical testing every day for the rest of your life for 5.2 million doesn't perhaps sound as tempting as just a regular job where you don't have to be medically tested every day.
I guess it completely depends on what it is, doesn't it? But if there's a genuine risk and hazard to your health entirely, or you could get cancer or something, you'd be like, well, is it worth it? It's a lot of money. Some people probably would say yes. I mean, obviously they might hate their jobs now. I don't know.
Let's say that choosing this job is not going to shorten your life or whatever, damage you permanently in any way. But so give an example of I probably wouldn't work as a dog groomer, but for $100,000 a week I would. But then that's quite tame. I wouldn't normally work as the guy that blasts fatbergs out of a sewer. I wouldn't want to do that. When they have to disintegrate giant fatbergs in sewers and things like that. Just the most disgusting job. I wouldn't do that, but I would do it for $100,000 a week.
Okay. What about if you had to I don't know, maybe medically remove pustules from anuses?
I fucking hate that stuff as well. I'm not.
So you're there. You're having to get really up close to the anus. You're right there, and you've got to just
express the anal glands of dogs.
You've got to do I think.
I reckon you could get desensitized to it.
You would get desensitized, but
first few months would be rough as hell. But then you'd be like, this is standard procedure nowadays. $100,000 a week. Thank you very much.
So you'd express the anal glands of dogs for $100,000 a week?
Yes, I would.
Would you? I don't know what it actually looks like. I don't want to see it. It sounds disgusting.
Well, they're like kind of little sacs. They're like little sacs of the anus entrance.
Do you want the stuff that comes out looks like?
Is it like kind of yellowy?
No, it's not.
I don't know if it's what does it look like.
Do you remember Angel Delight?
The
chocolate
gelatin
one. That, but you put too much milk in.
Right. Okay.
Dude, that is fucking disgusting.
And so, do you have to do that manually yourself? Or do you take
Does it smell?
somewhere?
Yeah, it smells rancid.
It's what does it smell like?
It's like been there for ages, isn't it? It gets stuck in these sacks.
Very pungent. It doesn't smell like shit. It smells beyond shit. It's something really like you instantly smell it when like there's a hint of leakage from her glands. You're like, get off me, and then I have to wash.
You smell it
clothes.
first. Sorry, or do you?
Yeah, you smell it first.
See it or smell it first.
Yeah.
There is actually a funny news story that involves smelling dog poop as well. Actually,
what about different tangent to get away from shit for a second before we dive right back in funny news? Would you be a celebrity Texan bull rider for 100k a week?
So there is a genuine risk to my health then?
At that point, yeah. But you're well known in the circuit, and you're that guy that comes out at the end that everyone just standing ovation, and you are like a really good but high risk because you always take the really wild bulls.
Is there animal cruelty involved in that? Because I feel like
the bull,
I mean, again,
loves it.
A lot of money.
Let's presume. I mean, in this fictional world, that this bull actually really fancies chucking a guy around on his back for a bit.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, let's just assume that there's no cruelty, even though the sport in general, you could argue, is cruelty to animals. But okay, it's a bad example. I feel like I'm getting off track here.
No, it's fine. No. I think it's fine. I mean, fucking hell, it's a bull. It fucks people up. I mean, you're right. Like, they shouldn't kill them, all that shit. But like, anyway, I think that would be a hard one for me to call. I think if I was good at it, I would give it a go.
Yeah, it's very tough to say because it's a skilled thing. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I think I'd end up flying off it and die on day one, to be honest. So is it worth it in that scenario? Sure. No, definitely not.
What about?
It's a lot of money.
What about caving?
Oh shit! Well, like going down like where you're literally
squishy holes,
tiny diving. You've got to go
holes.
Cave diving to like retrieve people out of muddy water.
Have you seen those videos of those people just sliding down a crack and they're just like getting their head like properly stuck through and then through and then they're just down this? Oh my god!
You see someone got stuck upside down and died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
God.
It's so insane. Like I agree. Like potholing, where you like are trying to deliberately find these crazy tiny routes through like through caves where it's like you say, you're just completely squeezed up against something, or you have to go like down into a hole and then like rotate your body to then slide out of a shelf. I completely agree. That would be horrific.
You wouldn't take the money for that one.
I don't think so. No, I just don't think it'd be worth it. $5.5 million to live a life where you're constantly just terrified you're going to get stuck in a fucking dark hole under the ground for the rest of your life. Like, yeah, no, I don't think I'd do that either, personally.
I think of things that there was a job that somebody had where they had to go to the bottom of an oil rig, but like super, like probably to the depths, which are
where the drills are.
Yeah.
Shit.
Saturation.
They had to, you have to basically just clean out, like to clean the rig itself.
Fuck.
So that like is horrifying.
That sounds
and
dangerous.
Also, it's pitch black. Like it's just for me, no. God, no.
Yeah.
That sounds horrifying.
I'll make do. Thanks. Without the 100k a week.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But,
find another career path.
Oh God, there's an article here from the Northern Echo. Watch the horrifying moment a saltburn potholer gets stuck in a cave. Just the still, I'll put it in a Discord. Just the still alone.
Did they get out?
Like, yeah.
Okay. That feels better.
I'm trying to think what are the worst jobs ever. 25 worst jobs in the world. God,
logging, I imagine, and lumberjack is quite high risk, right? Something like that.
I don't know if it'll be high risk.
Yeah, it is.
There's
deep sea
fishermen outdoors and stuff, which there's actually an appealing nature to that, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a risk for falling trees. In general. Mining would be pretty fucking shit. And then again, people get paid like nowhere near 100k a week for that kind of thing, and they get all sorts of illnesses over time. God, it's listed some here. Pet food taster and portable toilet cleaner at a festival. Oh, imagine that. Just cleaning festival toilets.
Like the ones where they just like drain.
They're always so ruined. Always. Animal masturbator, which is a legitimate job.
That's it.
Where they obviously extract sperm from like horses.
Oh yeah, they're pretty well paid as well.
Would you do that, or would you rather do the anal?
Would rather. I think I would rather wank off an animal, if that was well paid. If you got 100K, I think people would be like, shit.
If you got the same
where
amount,
can I get that job? If you, I mean, you're not wanking it off for pleasure. You're wanking it off for a reason.
You need this, buddy.
For a legitimate reason. Yeah, we've got to get this, buddy. As long as you're not doing it for sexual gratification, that's definitely a different story.
How many like legitimate animal masturbation sessions? So like I don't know if you've seen these clips. I think of, I don't know whether it's like one of the celebrity chefs, and or they turn up. There's clips of like celebrities doing it, where they're like teaching them how to wank off a pig to like take the sample. Have you not seen that?
I think I might have done. Yeah.
No.
Who's the? Is it? Rebecca. It was ages ago. Is it Rebecca Lewis? You know the one that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the one who had an affair with David Beckham.
Yes, yeah. She was in some farm reality TV show where they got celebrities to work on a farm, and one of the ones they made her do was use this like sample bottle to get a thing from a pig.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how many of those would you take versus it's like Sorry, so how many samples would you perform before you trade it in for just one physical sexual session with a pig?
Oh. Well, no, well, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't want to have a physical sexual session with a pig. I think that's
so you do.
It's in fact a crime.
But in this fictional world, much like the one with the bull, the pig's into it.
It's not a bad thing.
The pig's giving you a wink, Ross. He's seen you come in for your hundreds.
He's got human eyes.
100,000 sample collection. This one is one of the prize. It's what I'm saying. How many would you trade in and go, you know what? You could do 10 years of wanking this pig off.
I'll tell you what, I'll have strong arms by the end of it. 100,000
samples taken, yeah. Samples, and you get like a little McDonald's style badge that like it's like a 5 stars.
100K, buddy, you did it.
Part of the 100K club.
No, I wouldn't
ever.
Sex on a pig. But there's also some stuff here like crime scene cleaners, which would be pretty morbid.
Yeah.
And they do say that
power washer in a zip-up suit.
Oh yeah, because obviously you'd see all sorts of horrible stuff, which could scar you for life. But there's also the job that I saw. There was a documentary on not too long ago about people who work for Facebook, where they have to like flag sensitive content.
Oh Christ!
Some of the stuff they see that would be it's traumatizing. They don't get really have any preparation for it. It's just kind of like, all right, you have to say whether it's bad or good, and then obviously they just see the worst shit you could possibly see in the world.
Oof.
Being sent to them constantly, and they have a quota of how quickly they can rifle through it. But it's just like that would be pretty traumatizing, I think. But I don't think they get paid anywhere near 100K a week. So maybe it is worth it if it was that much. I don't know. Maybe you could spend that money on the therapy. But
Christ,
that's not going away.
Yeah, but
oh my
God, it's
God,
traumatizing stuff.
Yeah,
if you think the news is bad,
that kind of
you wait
paying
till you
for
see Ross's
therapy for
evening
that.
browsing.
The only thing I can compare that to is like a huge house fire and then a small fire hose just trying to put it out. That's the therapy you're trying to receive, and the house fire is the job. Can never put it out. I don't think that would work.
Just the variety of horrors you'd have to witness. It's not cool. But
President's Bodyguard? What about that?
That's sorry.
What?
President's Bodyguard?
For 100K a week, yeah.
To be honest, I don't know if they probably get paid quite well. I imagine anyway. But I don't imagine it would be I don't imagine it'd be one of the worst jobs. But it depends on how many assassination attempts or whatever happen in a period
3
of
a
time,
day.
or how much grief.
Yeah,
they have to go through
it really
day,
goes
I don't
up.
know.
Like you're having to deal with an unusual rise in assassination.
Yeah.
This president is particularly assassiny.
Yeah, they really.
he's really asking for
He's
it.
riling
Yeah.
people up, and everyone just wants to go. So 100K a week.
I don't know. I don't really have the. If I had the training, maybe. I don't really have the mindset for it.
Well, they're not just going to chuck you in on the job.
No.
Like, they're not going to go like, hey, Ross, you're a bodyguard now.
You're on the
and
top
you're just
pay.
like...
You're the top earner here. How? I've literally just been making gaming videos for most of my life.
How much would you have to be paid to stop being their bodyguard and be the assassin?
Oh, 100K a week.
I'll just swap. Straight
well, I don't
swap.
know, because obviously, if you get caught, you are
105K?
your entire life. You're going to prison, or you're going to get shot.
Yeah,
the more likely scenario in that instance. So it's a real risk.
How much?
Some leaders, how much? Maybe if they offer, it depends on how much. Yeah. So if you're on 100K a week, which was it 5 million or something a year?
Yeah.
I guess double it, and then call it quits, and then I'm out.
Wow.
I'm out of there.
10 million, and then you get paid that for the rest of your life. Is that what you're hoping for?
What, to continue assassinating like
presidents? No, just to do the one assassination and then you get that almost
if it was
like a
one-off
pension.
and just that's it, one and done. I'm gone. I mean, 10 mil.
Oh, you just take the 10 mil and be out there.
Yeah.
10 mil. Yeah. Ross would kill the president for 10 million. That's what we're basically summing up.
Really?
I mean, there's been assassination requests for like Putin for like 1 million. So like, I'm sure some people are looking at that thinking, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'll put to 10 though, because I think that might.
The offer stands. Anyone out there?
Ross will be there, guys. I just got to nip out for like.
He said 10 million. So 10. I'll see you guys later. I'm taking a quick flight.
I've got to go dark for a few years.
The gaming's done. Yeah, I do it for free as well. Yeah, but there you go. That's a list of. I mean, there's probably weirder jobs, more obscure jobs. I mean, there's one here that's odor testing and like. I mean, in fact, that brings me on to one of the funny news is actually, if I bring it
what about
swiftly to that quickly.
Old person sex worker.
You're the old person. You're having to.
You're servicing old people.
Probably not as uncommon
old people homes specifically. You do the circuit around England. You're the sex worker. You get paid $100,000 a week.
That's really good money, because I think that is already a thing. I don't think it's paid anywhere near as well as 100K a week.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be top of your game. Like,
the top of your game.
You'd be top of the sex working game. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm getting work all the time over the OEPs.
The OEPs love me. They
really do.
They like the
Make
fact
sure you wear
that
a mask. You'll be fine.
they like that I pop a Werther's in my mouth before I go to see him.
And then you transfer it to them.
I got one bloke that tells me I remind him of his grandson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, there's one story here that is actually brings me to this scenario here. It says a company is offering more than $6,000 to smell dog poop for 2 months.
Wow.
There's a plant-based pet food company in Britain that is looking for a dog poop sniffer that will pay a dog owner more than $6,000 to switch their canine's diet for 2 months. Part of the gig is that you have to keep track of how your pet's poop smells. Omni, a company that specializes in plant-based dog food, is seeking a dedicated dog owner to sniff their dog's poop to test the effect a plant-based diet has on their dog's digestion, stool odor, and general health. Winning applicant will be paid $6,685 to use Omni's dog food for 2 months.
I mean, you probably end up smelling your dog shit anyway a lot of the time,
honestly,
right?
When you pick it up, you just get a whiff of it anyways. If I would 100% do that for $6,000, because any dog owner would, I'm sure, because you pick up your dog's shit all the time. If you just be like, I just got to maybe take a picture of it, sniff it. Yeah, sure. I mean, how
what
do you
does it smell like?
It smells like dog shit, actually. So, I mean, for 6K, where can I apply for that? Because
it's like a grant.
You pick it up anyway. Yeah.
I quite like the smell.
My God.
Wow.
If anyone get on that list, let's all,
I collect it
because we're picking up dog shit all the time.
Trott gave us...
my dog shit in
Wait a
front
minute,
of
Trott gave us truffles at Christmas.
I did give you truffles.
Trott gave us truffles at Christmas.
They didn't smell. Plant-based, was it?
Smith had to go out and get more.
Murphy took a big shit in front of a bunch of school kids who were walking past, like young, like don't know, year one.
Love that.
Yeah.
And they just found it hilarious. They were loving it. And just, oh my god, a dog pooping! And yeah, so
Was Murphy
then I
like,
picked it up and sniffed it.
please stop?
What does it smell like, kids? Oh, take it. Take
Get
some of
paid
these
$6
nuggets.
grand for this.
And then I
Yeah,
flung
I need
it
the
into
money.
their
Smells like dog shit again.
I hope you threw it at their seesaw.
Oh, it wasn't near a park, but I
No.
would throw it in their faces if I was paid to.
Put it in a potato cannon.
Yeah, well, a working one.
A working one, yeah. If you can find such a thing. I maintain they're a myth.
Yeah. Science is out on that one. Well, unless there's any other funny news you would like to recite, I know there's not very much this week.
No, I think that's a good end to it. There's not much. There's obviously horrible shit going on in the world. I hope everyone's being safe as they can be. Yeah, so we're trying to keep it light with the dog poop.
Trying our best.
Yeah.
And
Very
if you
much so.
have,
It's been, yeah.
if you want to help us out and you have any light, funny news stories, then please send them to our email, hatchat@hat-films.com. You can also send your fingals there, like Bog Boy did, and that would be very much appreciated as well, as much as our Patreon supporters who get credited at the end of the YouTube video. Wow, what an accolade. And also you get to choose the hypotheticals of the week. And just generally know that you're supporting Hat Chat and keeping this this thing going every week. So it's much appreciated. Thank you for supporting us. And we'll be back next week with more Hat Chat shenanigans. Actually, no. It's our tour next week.
We have
It's
to have
the
a
Dead
gap.
Nuts. We might have to have a gap.
We're gonna have to have a gap. Yeah,
But,
because
we've
we're
got a
very
gig.
busy next week.
So we'll see you in a couple of weeks, I guess. And have a great fortnight. Not the game, the time. And we'll see you next in the next couple of weeks. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Ta-ra!